Welcome back, everyone, to the Bossier City Civic Center, the Easton Hoyt Pro-Am. We are at our last division for the night. Known Pro, Nathan, take a look at those monster scores.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. I don't even really know what to say. Remington Boyer here at 456, along with Justin Hanna also at 456. I know Justin didn't shoot any 8s on the weekend. I think Remington has one. That's why he's actually in first. And you got Kyle Douglas at 454, which is just 2 points. And that's nothing in this game. And Matthew Burns at 450, who is just in his third tournament as known pro. Shot awesome on the weekend. And then Chris Perkins, who has done this numerous times, obviously shooting super well at 448.
This is going to be a horse race. We want to get these archers out here. Let's bring them out.
All right, for our last event of the evening, the Known Pro Division, your 5th place qualifier from Ontario, Canada, shooting for Matthews, Chris Perkins. Your 4th place qualifier, shooting for Hoyt, from Oneonta, Alabama, Matthew Burns. And your 3rd place qualifier, shooting for PSE, from Liberty, Utah, Kyle Douglas. And in 2nd place, from Asheville, North Carolina, shooting for Matthews, Justin Hanna. And your 1st place qualifier, shooting for Matthews, from Sullivan, Missouri, Remington Boyer.
All right, Nathan, 8 points separates 1st from 5th. 8 points in Known Pro is nothing because these guys are going to shoot at 14s.
I'm going to need a calculator.
It's great to see Matt Burns out there, as you mentioned, his first ever Pro Shootdown, his 3rd tournament ever.
Yeah, I talked with Matt a little bit earlier, and he said, his first pro tournament was a big letdown for him. Struggled, learned a whole lot, jumped into the next one, got a little bit better, put a launcher blade on, and then for whatever reason, man, it just came together.
It sure did.
Yeah, and so here he is in his first pro shoot-off. Finds himself in 4th place, and he operates Vans Sporting Goods in Coleman, Alabama. So,
all right, we're looking at Christopher Perkins there, our 2021 Known Pro Shooter of the Year.
Shooting his signature. Oh, wow.
Is so close.
Shooting his signature true ball release there.
He's got it. Oh, Matt Burns donutted that one on the Hyena.
Boom. That is awesome.
Going down to the end to Remington Boyer, who got his first win, I believe it was last year.
Yep.
In Paris, Texas.
Yeah, you're right.
And he did call upper.
Called upper, and he gets it. So there we go. Let's pull out the calculator
Let's
like we
it.
said.
Yep. They're going to do it. And Justin Hanna the last couple years has really got a couple wins under his belt. When he's on, he's hard to beat.
Well, here's the thing. He is ridiculously consistent.
Yeah.
I mean, he's he won Shooter of the Year.
14.
Was it 2 years ago that he won Shooter of the Year in Known Pro?
I forget.
He definitely won. These years start going together, especially after COVID. But he is going to be there. He shoots extremely good.
He just shot himself into 1st place solo at a 470 with that 14. And there's Kyle Douglas, multiple Vegas champ, multiple indoor nationals champ. He's won these I mean, the guy just shoots a bow. That's Matt Burns. Your first
12.
shoot down arrow is a 12.
That's a good way to start. Got to feel pretty good about that.
Now here's Christopher Perkins. Let's see. That was a close one. We only got a quick look at it, but we're going to get a better look at it now. Oh, see, now look at that line.
Look at
that
pull.
pull.
Wow, that is close. Now, and that's...
Look at that. I mean, that's as far as you can stretch it.
That's so hard to call. I mean, so hard to call.
There it is. He gave it. Got it.
Got it.
414. Chris seems in disbelief at that.
You know, when they stretch like that, you just...
So for
it's
folks,
so hard.
Yeah, for folks looking at home, what I can tell you how Scott Parrott judges is he says it's in unless he sees something that says it's out.
Yeah.
So it's in. That's the assumption, and then he goes on what he's looking at. Now we're looking at it on a camera, TV screen.
Yeah.
But trust me, it's different when you're down there.
Absolutely, 100%. Because when you walk up to that target, and you're trying to make a distinction of where that line starts and stops.
Exactly.
And when it
That's the
stretches that foam like that, it's so difficult to say it's 100% out. And Scott's going to call it in unless he can see something that makes him think that it's out. And he is consistent in the way he calls them.
That's the thing. Like, everyone will get that call with Scott.
Right.
Good look at Justin.
Oh, just so solid. So solid.
Justin is a home builder, and he's in real estate back home.
Man, just missed that one a hair to the right.
Matt Burns just over.
Oh, that's going to be close.
So here's Chris Perkins on the Hyena. Missed that upper 12.
Yeah, that's the Wolverine there. That's the longest shot
Oh,
out here.
yes. Let's get to distance. So that one is 44.1 yards is the Wolverine. Our next target, that Remington Boyer shot, which is the Wolf, that is 28 yards.
Wow.
And what did Remington? He just missed there.
Just off. Just off of that.
So that's going to move into 476. Now, next up is Justin Hanna on the Panther. That is 39.5 yards.
Looked to me like he shot just a hair right when I saw that before, but maybe not as far right as I thought.
Yeah, look under his arrow, Nathan, where the target's even
It's
torn.
split.
Like, if you're looking at that, the line is separated. That's a tough call.
Yeah, that one looked like it was fairly crisp as far as the edge of the line.
Yeah.
Again, I know I'm looking at the through the camera lens, and that's hard to tell sometimes. But that one kind of looked crisp, so I can see where that distinction would be a lot easier made than what we saw over here on the 14 call earlier.
Hyena down there.
Look at this.
There we go.
I mean, it's arrow call after arrow call, and it is so difficult because I mean it's a huge point swing.
Yep. And there it is, 12.
But that one again, I totally agree with what I saw on camera. I mean, that's got to be a 12.
That's 44.5 yards is the Hyena.
So that's actually the longest.
That is the longest by 0.4 yards.
Just the way those look over there, it looks like, I guess from our vantage point, obviously the Wolverine looks longer, but where they're at on the line, it kind of angles back. So here we got another close one. Super, super close.
Scott is down there saying, man, this is difficult. There it is, an 8.
That one's just out.
For Matt, 470. It's going to put him 2. All right, so everybody shifts. Justin Hanna is our leader at 480. Remington Boyer and Kyle Douglas tied at 476. Christopher Perkins 472 and Matt Burns 470. So we are shaking up the order here with 3 arrows to go in regulation.
That guy right there, just continues to impress me week in, week out, with his mentality and how he shoots. He's a command shooter.
Right.
That for many years shot a slow hinge shot, a weight on it shot,
Yeah.
and changed to command style and just changed his whole mentality on how he shoots.
He said he kept dropping low out of it with the hinge, and so he's like, that was bothering him.
Oh no,
Oh, that's Remington.
that's a pretty high right, or
Yeah.
way right arrow. You know, something that I was talking about right at the beginning of the broadcast, when you were talking about the conditions that we were in on the range and what they're not going to deal with here. The one thing I did mention was the lighting, and every one of these guys shoots some sort of lens and some sort of peep that has a lens in it as well. And that lighting can really affect how that looks.
12 from Matt Burns moves him to 482. Chris Perkins, I believe, smashed this one.
If you see that form on Chris Perkins, he really stretches out, and he's really he's got his shoulder in basically straight in line with his arm, so it's almost like the triangle that he makes is a perfect triangle instead of a he's 100% bone on bone pressure. So that really helps in pressure situations where you can just basically pull hard onto the bow to get the bow to fire.
That was an 8 for Remington Boyer, moves him to 484. Justin Hanna with a 10, 490. Now Kyle. He went for the 14. I can see it from here, but it looks pretty good.
From here, it looks left from the way I look at things, but he may have it when we see it on screen. Oh, I think that's in.
That looks
it may be
pretty
out,
darn
but
good.
looks pretty good to me.
See that when he popped that light on?
Yeah.
The line just looked different, but Scott Parrott says 14.
Yeah. Thought so.
Now, Kyle Douglas just shot himself into a tie for first place.
He did. So what does Justin Hanna do here? Does he say, okay, I've got 2 targets left and I need this 14? Because the last one's a pretty long shot?
Yeah, this one is the 33-yard deer. We didn't mention that. That's our last target, 33-yard deer. And what folks at home may not realize is that 14 ring is actually a hair bigger than that 12 ring. I know I've heard other archers say they like aiming at that because it's a little bit bigger.
Most people like aiming at it because of the potential to shoot 14 points.
That too.
But no, I would agree that on some targets, it feels almost more comfortable shooting at the 14 just because it's bigger. Even though you don't have that security blanket of that 10 ring around it.
Yep. Kyle calling the upper on the Wolverine.
Kyle, take a breath. Watch him kind of load his shoulder right there. See that pressure he's putting in that? I asked him about it. You see how fast that shot
He
was?
just ripped that thumb back, off it went. Versus Justin, who's shooting a hinge.
Mm-hmm. Oh, straight low.
Straight low. Ouch. Remington Boyer. Or no, it's Perkins.
Perkins.
Oh, another 14. He said, when I saw him in 5th place, I saw him earlier today, he was like, I'm 14 hunting. That's all there is to it.
Wow.
So
Upper
there's
12
Kyle.
for Kyle. And that was, the look we just saw for Kyle there. I asked him about that. Maybe earlier this week, I think. I asked him about his shoulder. Maybe it was the last tournament. I lose. I lose the days here, but I asked him about, oh, look at that. That's awesome.
14 from Matt Burns.
Awesome shot, Matt. But I asked him about that shoulder and how he loads it and why. And he said, I don't know.
There you have it.
He said,
works.
He said, I do that? He answered with a question. Well, from what I see you do, it obviously works. Another 14 for Chris Perkins.
500 moves him to. Kyle, I believe, is at a 504. He's our leader.
Ooh, looky there. There's another pull. You see that pull?
Yep. 14 by Remington.
Yep.
498.
God,
He's not going away.
No, these guys are still tight. It's just super tight for score.
Yeah, Justin didn't like this shot. No, unfortunately.
That was where I asked the question before. What's Justin going to do here?
Yeah.
When you're in the lead, you've got 2 targets left. One's 33, the other one's 44. Do you shoot at this one and just kind of lay up because the Wolverine is so easy to make a mistake on? Does it put him in a position now where he has to shoot a 14 if he wants to lead this thing going into the final arrow or tie with the final arrow?
Yeah, so now we got Kyle Douglas, 502. Now Chris Perkins, who came in 5th, is in 2nd, 2 points back at a 500. Remington Boyer, Justin Hanna, 498, and Matt Burns at 496. So we have moved this leaderboard all over the place. This is shot number 5.
So both Chris and Matt put their cones out for upper 12 calls, but makes you wonder, what are they shooting at?
Yeah.
Is that just a safety blanket to if they can't get the shot to go when they're aiming at the 14, they pull back over on the upper 12? Or are they 14 hunting?
Chris is on the 44.5-yard hyena.
Good aiming. Good aiming references for Chris.
And Kyle Douglas is on the shortest, the 28-yard wolf.
I can say Kyle's probably going to shoot at the 14. And he did. It looks like he got it from what I'm seeing.
Oh, he didn't like that.
Oh,
Perkins just off.
Just off. Yeah.
As soon as he shot it, he didn't like it.
So there's Hanna on the Wolverine, shooting at the upper. I believe he got it. It's close. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Justin Hanna's got 12 points there.
All right.
That'll move him to a 5-10.
Good recovery there for Justin.
Yeah.
Now here's Kyle. He had to have shot at the 14.
He did. From what I'm seeing over here, I think. Oh,
man.
well, I thought he smoked it from here, and that's just my naked eye. No binocular on it.
Oh, yeah, he got it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
516.
Hey, you notice that scratch there on Scott's arm?
Yeah, I do.
That's because they cut a ton of lanes this weekend for this
400
event.
lanes they cut by hand.
Yeah.
In
Surprise.
thick woods, too.
So there is
That's Matt
Matt shooting at the 14 on the Black Panther. And I told you how hard that was to aim at earlier. And that's what he was seeing. He was not able to see those rings at all, I'm certain. He's just having to aim at nothing and hope for the best.
Yeah. 8 for Chris. Yep.
So it moves him to 508.
Remington Boyer. That looks close, if not in it. Just looking from here. That's right in the right area.
It's going to be close.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Actually, that wasn't really close at all. He
It
smoked that
wasn't.
thing. Maybe I need to reevaluate my target recognition.
All right. We just shook things all up again.
Yeah.
So I believe we're at Kyle with a 516. Pretty confident on that. I believe Remington's now at 512.
Yep.
Yes. Justin Hanna, 510. Now Chris Perkins, 508. Matt Burns, 504. Just swinging back and forth in this division.
Well, Kyle really set himself apart with that last arrow
Yeah.
on that wolf by hitting the 14. And, he hasn't really made, I guess, obviously a 10's the lowest scoring arrow that he's shot in these 5 targets. So he showed off again, does what you would expect from a Vegas multi-time Vegas champion, indoor shooting, 3D winning machine.
Yeah. Yes.
Let's just call him what he is.
So the only one we're gonna drop is Matt.
Yeah.
Matt Burns. He's gonna finish 5th. Hey, your first Pro Shootdown, your 3rd ASA in the known pro division.
But
That's a pretty good way to end.
actually, he's still within 12, right?
He's not within 10.
Oh, it's within 10.
Yeah.
I've only been doing this 20-something years, BJ. I can't remember if it's 12 or 10. I'll get it one of these years.
So 5th place for Matt Burns. And currently, Kyle Douglas 5:16, Remington Boyer 5:12, Justin Hanna 5:10, Christopher Perkins 5:08.
So, congratulations, Matt Burns. Obviously.
Definitely. Absolutely.
First Pro Shootdown, only your 3rd pro tournament ever. How awesome did he shoot this weekend to be up there with those guys that
Absolutely.
have won multiple tournaments. Shot fantastic.
And so we're trying to figure out what they are shooting at. He's positioned potentially on the Panther, I think. There you see Christopher using that rangefinder, again, known pro, so that's allowed in this division. He is called upper.
But I'm certain he's shooting at a 14 here.
Yeah, got no choice.
Like you said before, Chris was going to be 14 hunting before we started this round, and
It is the Panther he's shooting at.
so aiming at this 14. Like I've said a couple of different times, you can't see it. Even with his lenses, I would be astonished if he could actually see that 14 ring. So he's just aiming out in the middle of nowhere and hoping you can make the right shot.
Yep.
And that's evident of what happens right there, because
Yeah.
I would say at that distance, which I don't know what it is, but I'm going to say it's probably less than 40 yards.
It was 39.5, and he moved him up about
So
5 yards or so.
Yeah. So I have no doubt Chris Perkins could hit a ring if he could see it.
Absolutely.
So that brings another neat thing to limelight here, I guess, because a lot of these guys are fantastic dot shooters, and they come over to the 3D side of things, and they struggle at 3D. Not that Chris Perkins ever has really struggled.
Right.
But some of them do. We see some guys come over and shoot 3D that really struggle to shoot great scores, and it's just because they don't really recognize targets very well and how to aim on them. Because you're aiming at nothing.
Justin Hanna. I was going to say, Justin's one who does well aiming at.
Yeah, I was going to say the exact same thing. My words was going to be, although Justin is not one of those guys that has that problem.
No.
Well, he actually started shooting 3D before he ever done dots.
Yeah.
So he's kind of the dot introvert.
Yes. So, Remington Boyer needs a 12 to tie Justin, and he would get him, I don't know the bonus rings from this round. He was up by 1 before we started. But a 12 ties him on score, and then the bonus rings would sort him out. But
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if he doesn't shoot at the 14.
He just about has to.
He's calling upper.
Look at the eyes on that cat.
Yeah. Paint those things. Spray paint them neon green.
Yeah.
Producer says it looks like his 3-year-old daughter did the makeup on that target down there.
Some great eyeshadow. Look at Remington coming to anchor nice and smooth. It was such
There he goes.
So effortless if you watch that shot. I mean, just smooth as could be.
Drops him to 526, which means Justin Hanna will finish in third at 524. Now, Kyle Douglas. All he has to do is shoot a 10 to tie.
12 to win.
And he had the same number of bonus rings coming in, and he's hit a pile in this shoot down. So
they're tied on bonus rings.
okay. I don't know if everyone can hear that, but Mike Tyrell says they are tied on bonus rings, he and Remington. So if he ties Remington in score, they will go to a sudden death shoot-off closest to the 12. But at 12, at this distance for Kyle Douglas, if he can see anything, it's a pretty easy shot for him.
Yeah, distance-wise, the challenge here is obviously just target recognition.
Can
where
you
you're
see
aiming.
it?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, see, you've got some spots on that upper 12 and the lower 12 that you could aim off of if you could see those.
Oh, that's close.
That's super close.
Wow.
Okay, so he's not just looking at this. If I just had to look from the screen here, he's got enough arrow up in the 11 that would concern me.
Yeah.
And I say 11. I'm talking about the center ring.
Center ring. 10. That's worth 10 points.
But you can still get both.
Yeah.
Obviously, with an arrow that's big enough to be inside the upper or inside the center ring and just catching that one. That's going to be super close.
That's a 10 from Scott Parrott.
That's what he says.
Hey, what do we love? Sudden death.
That's right. That's right. Game on.
We
right?
always want to keep shooting.
Game on.
So Mike Tyrell says closest to the lower 12.
Closest
I guess.
so this will be closest to the center of the lower 12.
Right.
So remember, score doesn't matter.
Right.
You're just measuring from center of the 12 on this.
Yep.
Many years ago, I was in one of these shoot-offs, and I shot about 1/8 of an inch over the 10, over the 12, and my competitor shot about a 1/16 under the 12, and he was an 8 and I was a 10, and I didn't quite. And this is before I was actually professional.
Yeah.
So this is back in the 90s. Charles Custer was his name, and anyway, I always thought that doesn't seem right because mine was a 10, his was 8. But the rules are, we're going closest to center.
Closest to center. So we're shooting the deer, which from the shooting line was 33 yards, and they moved him up at least 4 yards.
Yeah, I was say this is going to be inside 30 yards. Now, both of these guys are obviously fantastic dot shooters.
Yep.
So this is where their precision game will come in.
The 12 is a little easier to see on this deer. Definitely easier than the Panther.
Yeah, I would say both of these guys will be able to see these rings inside of their lenses. Now, here's the question: whose pin is going to be shaking the most
Right.
when they see it through that lens?
I mean, you're talking about a guy right there, Kyle Douglas, who has been in the most pressure-intense situations that you can be in. Remington's a younger guy, not quite that level of experience.
But both have won at this level.
Both have.
I'll give the advantage to Kyle on the shot style because he will command the shot here, where Remington's more of a squeezer. That's inside out,
Inside
I would
out.
say. There's still room.
There is room.
There's still room.
Boy,
They're going to measure.
gotta measure. I mean, that's... He put the pressure on.
He might be touching the line there from the inside, touching the inside of the line with that arrow. But all that matters is the center. No, that's it's about
4 inches.
Mike Terrell saying 4 inches.
half-inch from center, it looked like, from here. We don't know exactly what Scott Parrott is calling for the center of that spot, but.
So here we go. Remington's got to just dial this down and make the shot. Obviously, Kyle's put his best effort down there. Yeah, really? Did you see that?
Quarter of an inch, we're told.
Yeah. Remington was really putting the eye on that sight tape.
Oh, yeah.
Like, is that right?
I mean, because here, he doesn't even want to be off by a quarter yard. He wants dead accurate.
Yeah, you got to have it perfect, and then you got to make the perfect shot, and then you got to have a little luck. Because let's just be honest, it's really difficult to hit dead center at that distance.
Oh, just out.
So Kyle's going to be your winner here. That's just, without even measuring that, we can see that arrow has went outside, of the 12 line.
Yep. Boy,
but
look where it is.
It is really close, though.
Man. I don't know.
No, well, they're measuring off that. I think that white dot might be the center.
This is crazy.
That angle does have a big play on this.
I don't know. What did he say? Did he say tie? I don't know. I think he said it's a tie. Scott Parrott's talking to him out there. Kyle was asking about it. Man, it's just.
Because you got to find center on that 12 ring. Everybody's
looking at. There's a giant LED screen in here. It's, I don't know, 6 foot by 8 feet that is showing what the camera was showing, what you're looking at right now. So Kyle and Remington are staring at it, trying to figure it out. But again, it's what is the center of that dot.
Right.
And if it's too close to call, he's got to say shoot it again. But Scott's over there talking to President Mike Tyrell.
Well, that's it just seemed like the angle of Remington's arrow kind of almost laid across, like it went in and kicked.
Right.
And the arrow kind of pushed that direction, but
it turns out that Kyle Douglas' arrow was a 1/16 of an inch closer.
There we have it. Kyle Douglas, a 1/16 of an inch closer.
So we'll give him another bonus ring, and that makes Kyle our champion. Congratulations. We'll now go to the award ceremony.
Wow.
Wow.
I was speechless there for a minute.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we've done this a long time, and I don't know that I've ever seen that close of a call.
That's crazy.
And it was a bit confusing, but we got a winner out of the deal.
We did get a winner out of it. So we're going to get Kyle Douglas over here and get him into the headset. We lost our wrangler there, but here he comes.
Kind of got preoccupied there for a second, but
yeah. Kyle Douglas, what a finish. Tell us about that.
That was a little crazy way to end it, but I just stood up there and made the best shot I could, and whatever happened happened.
Yeah, killer shot. And your shoot down. Now tell us about your shoot down. That's what I wanted to talk to you about, because you came out here gunning for bonus rings and you were hitting them.
Yeah, I just got super aggressive, just I like to, just rip the bow in half and get as aggressive as I can. And, I didn't shoot it as good a shot as I would have liked to on the first one, and that kind of lit a fire under me and shot a little better from then on.
Well, so, I've watched you shoot for a long time, so one of the things I would say is that much like I've heard Tim Gillingham talk about, you're kind of a momentum shooter.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get that rolling for you, it's a hard train to stop. So, dude, fantastic shooting on the weekend. I don't know what to say other than I expected it. But, it's a great accomplishment again.
Thanks a lot.
Great round, Kyle. Congratulations. Big win for you here at the Easton Hoyt Pro-Am. Congrats.
Thanks, guys.
All right, that is going to do it for us here at the Bossier City Civic Center. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. For Nathan Brooks, I'm PJ Riley, and we also appreciate Big Cat Steve Anderson's help. We'll be back in about a month. We're going to head down to London, Kentucky. Thanks again for joining us.